Good day everybody and welcome back to FWC. In this video, I am going to be talking about the transfer news that is happening around Manchester City Football Club. So let's get into the video. Bayer Leverkusen have approached Manchester City because they want to sign James McAtee, and also Real Valladolid are threatening to take legal action against the City Football Group. Manchester City are expected to put a 58.7 million euros deal for Cambiaso, who is currently playing for Juventus. And also Manchester City have signed a new left back from New York City. So Bayer Leverkusen have offered Manchester City a loan plus an option maybe to buy James McAtee. Xabi Alonso is one of the people that really believes that James McAtee can be able to replace one of their players that is injured. But is this the way that we should let him really live? James McAtee is one of those players that has been on and off of Manchester City. He has been on loan to Stoke City. He also has been on loan to other clubs. So I think that loaning him, it is the best option that we currently have right now, because considering that we have made some mistakes, especially in letting our academy players go. One good example is Cole Palmer, and also the other example is Rogers, who is currently playing at Aston Villa this season. You can see what he did against Manchester City when we played against Aston Villa. He's the player that actually managed to destroy us. So I don't really think that we should let James McAtee leave. He has already shown that he is a good player and he is good to be with us at Manchester City, because you can see how he played against Salford City. That hat-trick, although Salford City is a championship team, but he is worthy to play for Manchester City. There was also a time that he came in from the bench. He managed to create a chance for us to make sure that we sealed all the 3 points in that game. And also when he came on the game that we recently won against Ipswich Town, he scored a goal. So he has that quality to play for Manchester City. I think that loaning him, it will be the best option, because we still have him. He can still come back at Manchester City when you see that he has developed enough, and also just to make sure that he stays fit, and also so that he gets game time and he doesn't get rust. But we must not sell him. Pep Guardiola is also reluctant to let him go, because he feels that he will become a regular starter as soon as possible as we fix our transfer issues and the rest of the things. So since we signed Omar Mamouche and Kusanov and Vita Reis, there's been another story trending that Real Valladolid are looking forward to taking legal action against City Group, because they believe that they are behind the termination of contract that Juma did. Juma is a player that Manchester City have already signed as I speak right now, but he is going to be on loan to Lens. He is a defender, so the moment that he heard that Manchester City are looking for his signature, I think that he terminated his contract. But if it was really an influence from City Football Group, I would call that really unprofessional, because we should be able to get the players that we want at any given time. But if the player decided to terminate his contract on his own, so then they can take their legal action against the player, not against the City Football Group, because as we do not control the player, we just want the player to be part of our squad in the near future. So Juma managed to join Manchester City, and his contract is going to be valid for 6 years. Right now he is going to be on loan to Lens so that he can develop some skills, and you can see that Lens, it is a club that can produce with quality, just like Kusanov, who just joined us at Manchester City. Although he had a shaky debut against Chelsea, but I think that as the game went on, he managed to develop the skill that he used at Lens. And also considering that Kusanov did not really have much time to talk to Pep Guardiola, I think that that was the main problem there, because he does not speak English, but as time goes on, you get used to the squad and you'll be able to catch 1 or 2 words in English so that you can be able to communicate with the manager. I think that you'll be able to hire a translator very soon so that you can be able to get instructions. But he is really a good player. As we send Juma to Lens, he is going to come back as a well-perfected player as we prepare to rebuild our squad. So in my last transfer update, I mentioned a player who is currently playing for Juventus this season. His name is Cambiaso. He is one of the top targets for Manchester City this January transfer window. And earlier reports were stating that Manchester City were going to put 65 million euros. He is 24 years old and he has played so many matches for both Juventus and Italy. But considering that Juventus also, they've not had a good season this season, they are also a bit shaky, just like Manchester City. So considering that he is coming from a big club to another big club in Europe, you'll be able to adapt very early from Italian football to English football. And also considering that he was part of the Juventus squad that beat Manchester City this season in the UCL, I think think that's where Manchester City really saw that this player, he is the player that we really need to kind of replace Rodri, to replace Kyle Walker, who just left Manchester City and go to AC Milan on loan. So the reports that came in a day ago were stating that Manchester City have had one of their bids rejected by Juventus. It was £54.5 million. And today, the reports that are coming out is that Manchester City have improved their bid for Cambiaso to €58.7 million. And also, they believe that the deal will be done this week. If it is not done this week, considering that we are nearing the end of the transfer window, I think that it will be done in the last hours of the transfer window. And as I was about to record this video, I received the news that Cambiaso has been injured. I hope that you'll be well so that we can be able to sign him. Christian McMahon joined Manchester City from New York City, and he is going to be a signing for the future. He is not going to be in the main team for Manchester City. I'm sure he is going to be joining the academy, and also New York City have put a clause that they'll be able to earn some money if Manchester City manage to sell him in the future. Everybody knows that after the game that we won against Salford City in the third round of the FA Cup, that game we won it 8-0, and Kyle Walker was not in the squad that day. And after the match, the news broke out that he asked to leave Manchester City. So now he has joined the Italian giants AC Milan, a club that I also support. But looking at his achievement as a Manchester City player, he came into Manchester City from Tottenham without any trophy, but now he lives as a legend from Manchester City. He has won most of the trophies that we won at Manchester City, including the UEFA Champions League and the Club World Cup, which were the main trophies that were missing in our trophy cabinet. So we wish him all the best at AC Milan. He is a legend. We appreciate all the things he did at Manchester City, the sacrifices he made to be a champion. And also the other news that broke out is that Manchester City are going to have a major transfer window in the summer, because we are looking forward to rebuilding our squad, because there are a lot of players that really need to go out of the club. There are some players that really need to stay in the club. I'll be happy to see Kevin De Bruyne staying for 2 more years. I hope that they will offer him a contract at the end of the season before his current contract expires. And also, considering that we have a Club World Cup, he will be allowed to play the Club World Cup under Manchester City, but his contract by then it would have expired. So all in all, Manchester City are not done signing players in this January transfer window. Tell us what you think about the new players that we are looking forward to signing and the new players that we have already signed. Tell us what you think in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.